50 states are near bankruptcy. Without significant intervention from the federal government, these states will be in dramatic physical or fiscal dire straits. We really haven't dealt with the housing issue, with the economic issue. It's been sort of put off. If you look at the commercial and residential loans, mark-to-market, those still haven't happened. And so those are still out there. And so first, let me make a couple of comments. Most of my comments today are going to be from my experience as the Director of Housing from Denver. I also sat for 10 years as a commissioner on the Denver Housing Authority, and we were very successful in a number of collaborations. My role here in the city of Honolulu has really been to focus on transit-oriented development and the activities related to that. And so my comments today are going to be a blend of that. I guess first let me start with sort of the macro view. I think we need to think about what the normal is. Home ownership rates in Europe are significantly lower than they are in the United States. Less stable society, still growing and prospering. Home ownership, there's nothing wrong to be said about it, but growing up poor myself on the East Coast, we had stable neighborhoods. What's changed has been the job market. If you want to look at some statistics about the housing growth, etc., understand that wages in the United States have been flat for a decade or more. What's been financing our housing boom, if you will, has been debt. And so now that that debt has been wiped away and the commoditization of housing has changed, we need to really think about that. And housing, while it provides stability in a global capitalist society, part of the program that we talked about initiating was a rehab of existing units today and or the acquisition of vacant land. The vacant land issue is a little challenging because what that really requires is patient capital, because you're never sure when the market's going to pick up or the period of time it takes to get through the regulatory process is going to happen so that you can really get into doing that. The second area that we began looking at is we wanted to tie that to transit, the comments that were made earlier about, if you combined in the studies that we did for preparing the proposal, combine the amount of dollars that were spent on housing and the amount of dollars spent on transportation, that number came up to about, let's say 47% of the population was spending greater than 35% of their income on the combination of those two things. And if it takes 30% of your income set aside for housing, qualify for housing, once again, there's that gap there. And so what we try to do is focus on providing opportunities near transit. Well, there's another dichotomy there, because in a way that the